Okay, now that we have our flowers, we need to do the leaves. And these are just basic leaf shapes that anybody can do. And I've put a few on here. So your basic leaf shape is just, it's like a pointed egg almost. So to do this, that's a same round tip brush that I'm going to use. And whenever you have little fat gaps and spaces in your flowers, you know that the leaves or greenery going to be in there. So you just take a little bit of the green paint and you just tap it in there into those little gaps to bring it all together. And then we're going to make a couple of big leaves down here on the bottom. So you use your darker green first and then you lighten it up. You can lighten it up with yellow or you can use 2 different shades of green. And you want to start with the fat end of your leaf first. And it's a flat side. You're going to bring it down and give it a little curve at the end. Just a little curve. Okay? And you can give it a little curly end like that if you want. Like I said, this is just a basic leaf shape for you to use. There are many different shapes of leaves. If you want to do a rose leaf, get a picture of a rose bush with the leaves on it. Or I have rose bushes actually in my yard that I could do leaves with. And I like to do them in pairs because a lot of times when you see an arrangement in a vase, it will be where they're kind of paired up. So let's put another one down here next to this one. And it's not going to be as large because they do come in all different sizes. And this is straight paint. This is not watered down. This is straight acrylic paint. If you want crisp edges, you're more than welcome to go ahead and use a little bit of water, not a whole lot, to make that watered down. I'm going to put a third one right here. It's just going to kind of stick out this way. That little point is like a teardrop. If you can do a teardrop shape, you can do the basic leaf. Let's see, I'm going to fill that little hole in because I don't want this particular leaf to, I want to put it over top of that bottom flower because they do that on the bottom of a vase frequently. So there's my cluster of 3 leaves. Now you're going to either take some yellow to it. I'm going to do the middle one I'll do with the yellow. Take a lighter shade of green and kind of put it in your paint, and you want to go smooth it this way and then turn it over and smooth the other way. That way you come to a nice straight little edge, and that's what you're going to do the middle vein in your leaf with that color. You're going to come down like that and put that in there. So now you've got that middle vein, and from that pull out and just do diagonal lines. These are real fat veins. You can do thin veins if you like, and that's why it's so important to have the dark underneath, because now you can see the veins pop up. And we'll do this one over here the same way. And I'll show you what you can do with yellow. So they're kind of fat veins. And I've got my yellow down here, and I took it and added it to the lighter green, which is going to make this more of an olivey color. So I'm going to make a vein in this one. Let's say this leaf is getting older, okay? You can call it that way. This is or it could be a different kind of greenery. It could be a totally different kind of leaf. And I don't know if y'all can see the difference in the shade. Yeah, a little bit more yellow so you can actually see it. But it goes. Now if you want to give these leaves even more detail, take your fan brush. Take a fan brush, a small one that's not real, the bristles aren't real thick, and you can accentuate these different veins. with that yellow. I'm going to put it on these guys on the bottom. And it's just straight yellow paint. And I left the green that was on it from before. And I'm just making skinnier veins right alongside those fat ones. It gives it a little more character. Adds a little more color to it. And a lot of leaves will have that look. Okay, I'm going to do these guys on the side because I really like how that yellow came out. It adds a little bit of a punch to it. Now you want to also determine where your light source is coming from with these, and then you want to show that in the leaves. Oh, I got one up here. Okay, so I'm going to say my light source is coming down from this angle. So I'm going to add a little bit of white to that light green. Okay, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to edge those leaves that the light's hitting. So it's going to hit this one. I'm just lightly brushing it on with a dry brush. Okay, just lightly. I'll have to show you this, guys. It's kind of hard to hold this up and show you all what I'm doing. Okay, so there we go. So the light is shining this way, down this way. So we're going to give it a little bit here. It's not going to be on the bottom, but it's going to hit the top of this leaf. It's going to hit the top of that leaf and the top of that leaf. It's going to hit the top of this one just a little bit. This one not so much, and this one just barely, like one little spot. But as you can see, it makes your leaves come alive when you can actually show where the light's coming from, and it just highlights them. There's a little bit of yellow in the white, and that gives your leaves the life they need. I don't know if I can remember. So now you can see how easy it is to make the leaves to go with your flowers. So I'm going to finish filling this out, and then I'll show you how I'm going to do a little vase underneath.